Hello to everyone in TV land. This is Focus on Liberia online television, and you're listening to the Focus on Liberia Daily News with Gwendolyn Dorado. I bring you the headlines. President pro tempore Kanga Lawrence honored by former lawmakers. Alja supports establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court, Assets Recovery Task Force in Liberia. President Boakai signs executive orders to ensure rice affordability and agriculture productivity. Liberians demand rehabilitation of Unity Conference Center for War Crimes Court. And court orders eviction of the former ruling party, CDC, from the Congo town headquarters. Those were the headlines, and I'll bring you the news in details. Former members of the legislature under the banner concerned members of the 53rd legislature honored Senate pro tempore Yambli Kanga Lawrence for her leadership under the short period as head of the Senate on Thursday. Presenting the honor at the ceremony on behalf of the former lawmakers, Mr. Gabriel Buchanan Smith, former District Number 3 representative of Grand Basso County, noted that the group was established to collaborate with current leadership with the aim of ensuring a better society of the Liberian people. He further informed the Senate pro tempore that as former lawmakers, they are impressed by the current level of improvement through a reform system set up under her leadership, and they thought it wise to give her a flower while she is still alive. In response, pro tempore Yambli Kanga Lawrence expressed gratitude to her former colleagues for such recognition. She described as the first of its kind. Pro tempore Kanga Lawrence also indicated to the former lawmakers that it is a new era and that it is time to work together in helping to develop the country. On Thursday, March 7, the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas has wholeheartedly declared its support for the resolution seeking the establishment of a War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. In a press release, Alja expressed a strong endorsement of establishment of a court dedicated to addressing war and economic crimes committed during and after the Civil War era. Alja says the decision reflects the determination of the Liberian people to hold accountable individuals who bore the greatest responsibility for the tragic loss of lives and the destruction of properties during the conflict, as well as the urgent need to address rampant public corruption, which has for long permeated the governance system of Liberia. At the same time, the association commends President Joseph Boakai for his decisive action in establishing an Assets Recovery Task Force charged with the responsibility of recovering public assets wrongfully acquired by public officials. It believes that the task force will help restore credibility, accountability, and transparency in the governance process. The association also wants President Boakai to appoint Liberians with the highest standard of priority and qualification to the task force to ensure efficiency in the retrieval of stolen public properties and the prosecution of the culprits. The Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas is a 5013 organization founded by former Liberian journalists based in the United States in 1998 and revived in 2014 after a period of democracy. It advocates for good governance, rule of law, democracy, freedom of speech of the press, and provides capacity building for practicing journalists in media institutions in Liberia. In a major step toward achieving food sufficiency and ensuring the affordability of rice, Liberia's staple food, President Joseph Boakai has signed two significant executive orders. Executive Order number 125, which suspends the importation tariff on rice. The move aims to reduce the cost of rice and make it more accessible to the Liberian people. The president also signed Executive Order number 126 on assets recovery, the order which focuses on recovering assets and combating corruption to strengthen the economy and promote long-term agriculture productivity, thus aiming to create a conducive environment for the agriculture sector to thrive. The signing of the executive orders reflect the government's commitment to prioritize the welfare of the Liberian people by taking proactive measures to ensure the affordability of rice and promote long-term agricultural productivity. The president is working towards a brighter and more sufficient future for Liberia. In a bid to revive the Unity Conference Center Village located in Virginia outside of Monrovia, Liberians are calling for the establishment of a war and economic crimes court at the facility. The residents living in the vicinity of the conference center believe that repurposing the abandoned complex would not only bring life back to the multi-million-dollar infrastructure, but also serve as a fitting venue for the court proceedings. The Unity Conference Center Village, once a symbol of grandeur and prestige site, ugly and decaying since its use as the host venue of the organization of the African Unity Conference in 1979. Despite its pictorial sea view, the large conference center and several smaller conference rooms have fallen into disrepair, and adjoining golf rooms and villas have also suffered from neglect. The Liberian government, which owns the abandoned facility, has done little to address their state and has allowed them to languish. However, local citizens now see an opportunity to give new life to the complex by suggesting it as a potential host of the much anticipated War and Economic Crimes Court. The call to resurrect the Unity Conference Center Village and its potential use as a venue for the court has gained significant attraction among the local population. Liberians eager for justice and rebirth hope that their demands will prompt the government to take action and restore national pride in the once grand facility. As discussions continue, the fate of the Unity Conference Center Village hangs in the balance, representing both an opportunity for rejuvenation and a symbol of the government's commitment to upholding justice for war crimes and economic offenses committed during the Liberia's tumultuous past. The Circuit Court of Montserrado has issued a double rate ordering the eviction of the former ruling party CDC from the headquarters located in Congo Town and placing said property in the possession of Martha Stubberfield Bernard by and through Ibrima Vani Dempster following the court's judgment. Circuit Court Judge Gloda Elliott on March 7 issued a writ of possession commanding the sheriff to evict, eject, and oust the defendant's Congress for democratic change from the headquarters and arrest the living bodies of the culprit officers and administration if they failed to pay US $54,000 and 13,000 Liberian dollars to the plaintiff and as rent fee for the property. The judge's orders was contained in an action of the enforcement of judgment and enactment by the in-estate administrators and the Congress for Democratic Change, represented by its chairman, Nathaniel F. McGill. That does it for the Focus on Liberia Daily News. I bring you a recap of the headlines. President pro tempore Kanga Lawrence honored by former lawmakers. Alja supports establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court Assets Recovery Task Force in Liberia. President Boakai signed executive orders to ensure rice affordability and agriculture productivity. Liberians demand rehabilitation of Unity Conference Center for War Crimes Court, and court orders eviction of the former ruling party CDC from the Congo Town headquarters. On behalf of the management and staff of Focus on Liberia, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We urge that you keep following us and share our videos. My name is Gwendolyn Dorado. I presented.